Hello and welcome. It's been a while since I've uploaded any content. I've been crazy busy with work, my health, and I'm building a studio, as you can see behind me. Today, I want to cover my plugins, ZENDYN and ZENBLINK. In particular, I want to show you how to bake the animation from these plugins and also how they work with LiveLink Hub and the new capture tools inside Unreal Engine 5.6. As a side note, the channel is currently demonetized, so I've got absolutely no control over the adverts that appear on this content. If you want to support me while the channel's demonetized, you can do so by going to X or Instagram and following me there. Also, you can like and subscribe to this video because it still does help. Let's proceed to the tutorial. To begin, we're going to be baking or recording ZENBLINK animation in Take Recorder. This also applies to ZENDYN. If you don't have ZENBLINK, don't worry, you can do the same with ZENDYN. What we have here is a scene with a metahuman with body and face animation. And then I have ZENBLINK attached to the character. And let's enable ZENBLINK. And it's pretty subtle. ZENBLINK is adding some eye animation and some head animation. So in order to bake this out, and what I mean by this is that the face animation here and ZENBLINK together baked to a new sequence, we need to go to Window, Cinematics, and Take Recorder. We need to open up the sequence. We select our metahuman, which in this case is BP Daisy. Come down to the recorded properties and deselect everything. We then scroll down. You may need to expand until we've come to face recorded properties. And from this, we want to select the animation track. And that's all we're going to do. And now I'm going to hit simulate. And then I'm going to hit record here on the Take Recorder. And we can browse to the asset that's just been created. It's this folder here because the sequence is called tut-a. And we go into that folder and we have all these leveled sequences, but we want to go into the animation folder, and the animation it created is this final one. And as we can see, it has all the animation, and ZENBLINK eye movement is also applied. And it's as simple as that. Let's try another example, and we'll go to ZENBLINK, just there, and I'm going to change the emotion to, let's do annoyed, and crank up the head movement strength, and facial emotion strength. We'll go to full just for purposes of demonstration, right up at the top there, and we'll blend to maximum. No, just below maximum. And let's hit play first to see what we're going to be recording. Do you see how she's now annoyed? Let's delete this track that was created when we did our last take recording and save and then record. It looks terrible, but for the purpose of the demonstration, it's fine. And that's it. Go into the subfolder, the animation folder, and it's this final one. There you go. ZENBLINK is now recorded. And again, this applies to ZENDYN too. This is how you do it. Okay. Because of the nature of this portion of the video, it's going to be a little bit more informal and basically me showing you how to use the LiveLink Hub. I'm doing it a little bit more freestyle, okay? Let's take a look at the new LiveLink Hub. I'm going to come to Tools, Capture Manager, and click here to open the LiveLink Hub. Here's the new LiveLink Hub. I want to add a source, and I want to add this LiveLink Face source because I'm going to be using the LiveLink Face app on my iPhone. We have to input some settings here. Here I am. And what we need to do is go to the settings, and here you will see my Wi-Fi address for the router I have set up for my Unreal Engine setup. I've chosen the mode MetaHuman Animator, and I'm currently at 30 frames per second just for purposes of the tutorial, but we need that Wi-Fi address. So if I input the Wi-Fi address into here, and then we'll say my iPhone for the name. Oops. My iPhone, and connect. And it will appear here with a green tick. If it doesn't, you may have problems with your firewall. Okay. So now that's enabled, and Unreal Engine is receiving the LiveLink Hub is receiving the data from my phone. Now, in order to use the iPhone with this MetaHuman, we need to go to our MetaHuman, LiveLink Subject, my iPhone. Brilliant. Okay. And then we're going to use LiveLink. We don't need to use ARKit because we're using MetaHuman Animator in this case. But if you were using ARKit, that's where you would select. Okay. As you can see, it's a little bit frowny because I'm actually wearing glasses. I have this light in my face as well to try and improve things. Let me just turn off ZENBLINK. It's currently not running because we're not in simulation mode, but let me turn that off. And now let me hit simulate. Okay, so nothing's changed, but if I turn ZENBLINK on, okay, so I'm going to keep my head incredibly still. I'm going to go back to ZENBLINK settings, and we're going to set this to happy. It's probably too much. Let me just turn that down slightly. There we go. Probably there. That's good. If you look, I'm not smiling. It's just injecting a smile into the animation. And then we're going to use head movement. We'll turn the head movement strength right up, and then turn the blend right up. We'll not touch the speed. And instead of follow target, I'm going to set to random. And watch what happens. I won't move my head, but ZENBLINK is running the head. So I can talk at the same time as ZENBLINK moving the head. So you can basically override what's happening here or add to it. Do you see that? To add, I would blend. Maybe like so. And then look, I can turn my head and ZENBLINK will move the head as well. Do you see that? There you go, ZENBLINK is turning the head. But what this means is if we're not in random mode, we can follow a target. Let's follow this target here. So ZENBLINK will follow the target without me moving my head. Look back at my phone. But what that means is if it's following a target over there, and I turn my head, so you can add a dynamic performance basically. Okay, let's do the same now, but with ZENDYN. The plugin is enabled, and I'm going to search ZENDYN. There we go, and I'm going to use the world actor just so we can change things in real time. There we go. Now we need to choose our MetaHuman actor. So in this case, we can use the picker, or I can just choose from this list here, and that's it. It's now connected. So if I hit simulate, so what we can do in this instance, let's say if we take a look at the eyes, and because I'm wearing glasses, the eyes keep messing up. So let me leave my glasses down slightly so the eyes mess up. What we can do with ZENDYN, this is the power of ZENDYN, is we could come to eyes, and we could just turn off the eyes. See that? So now nothing, there's no eye control. Let me put that back on for you. Look, see, I can look around with the eyes. We can also smooth out the eye movement if there's a little bit of jitter. Okay, so what else can we do here? Well, we can adjust the browse. So if you look at the browse, if I set this to 0, the brows no longer move. I mean, there is some slight movement because it's picking up the eyes here. Or we can boost this like crazy. And then we can smooth this out to maybe 100 is maximum smoothing. So let's do that. And look, see how slow it is? I mean, if you look at the phone, I'm moving very fast. But if you look at the screen, it's moving very slowly. That is because I've smoothed it out. Now, modern metahumans and LiveLink do come with smoothing, but this is just added smoothing that you can use. It's only for extreme circumstances where you have jitter. So let's set this to 2, which is really high, look. And then we'll do the same for the nose. Maybe like this. See, I'm really boosting it and it exaggerates the animation. So let's try it for cheeks. Maybe even go further on the cheeks. Okay, mouth. Okay, so this is what we currently have, which is pretty good, let's face it. I know it's not in sync, but it is pretty good. So let's do, maybe for the mouth we'll go for 2. And then for the jaw, which is this bit, go for 2. You see? I would be careful about using smoothing on the mouth, because if you go too high, it will spoil lip sync. Let me show you. So look at my mouth on the phone. And look at the screen. It's just smoothing it out so much that it's making it virtually impossible. If you want to smooth out mouth, I would suggest just having a proper light like this and using a frame rate of maybe 60 frames per second and a quick PC. There is an enable LiveLink iFix here. If you do find that the eyes are not focused, like, let me look left, right. If that's not happening, then you can check this and it will fix it in some circumstances. It's usually with ARKit that you will have that problem. Again, with ZENDYN, we can introduce emotion, so use emotion, and maybe we would, like, surprised. And we do the strength. Are you ready? Yeah, or we could just introduce happy, so it's permanently happy, and we do a gentle amount with that. And you can have all the emotion switch speed and everything. There's a global control to just turn ZENDYN on and off. But this global control is, as you can see, it's turned off everything. You can use ZENDYN enable to turn off ZENDYN, like so, but the global control turns everything down. Do you see? So it's all the LiveLink, ZENDYN, everything. You can minimize it so we can, so this odd any movement, see? Apart from the head movement, of course. And there we go. That's how to use ZENDYN and ZENBLINK with LiveLink.